and welcome to another week of Does This Podcast Suck? I am your host, Webhead. This is episode 42, and joining us, as always, Emtee.
Aloha, sir.
And Kyle.
Base is joining us.
What?
I don't know.
Stop trying to be clever.
I just said words. It's like 2 a.m. here, so...
Are you just speaking to hear your own voice? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Fucking vain.
You will hear me forever.
I bet you think this song is about
Shut
me.
up.
No.
No, just stop right there. So, this week, not a lot of news stuff. Definitely a lot of... there's some good game releases, though. So, we got The Witcher 3 released this week, and the expansion for Destiny, which we're going to talk about soon. But first, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. News time. Apparently, I don't know as much about this one. Rockstar is suing the BBC because they made a documentary about
They're
them.
in the process of making it. They haven't made it yet.
Okay.
Beyond that, I don't really know all that much.
So yeah, basically they're making a documentary with Jack Thompson, Daniel Radcliffe, and Bill Paxton. Wow.
What?
Hold on. It says, the 90-minute feature will focus on the real-life conflict between Rockstar president Sam Houser and the U.S. lawyer and outspoken critic of the series, Jack Thompson. Okay, he's not actually in it. It's about him. That makes a lot more sense. Bill Paxton is Jack Thompson. I am so sorry, Bill Paxton. It works, though.
He's good at
I can see
playing
that.
dick, though.
Yeah, he is. He's good at playing terrible people. Like in, yeah. And Daniel Radcliffe as the president.
Rockstar president.
Rockstar president. Not, well, obviously he's not black, so.
This could have been Bill Clinton, you don't know.
It wasn't that long ago. Although it kind of has been. He's had a hard-on for them since the beginning of
It doesn't
time.
necessarily say it's about 5. It just says the series in general.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot other than just that they're suing the BBC, which is kind of sad. But there's not a lot of comment there. Although you gotta kind of wonder, how do you make a movie about people without, asking their permission?
Well, they can do all they want
But it
to.
is a documentary at the
As
same
long as they don't say
time.
it's officially licensed and whatnot, or sanctioned.
Well, it sounds like it would be a docudrama if
Well,
they're getting actual, actors and shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how that works. On the one hand, did they even ask? On the other
I
hand,
highly doubt it.
should it matter? I mean, it's all public record, obviously, so what say do you have?
Oh, I'm sure we'll hear more about it before it's done.
Yeah, this is definitely just the beginning. So I guess we'll see what happens there, but that's sad.
They're just trying to make sure they don't come out looking like assholes, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it's about Jack Thompson, too, so there's no way they'll look like less asshole-ish.
I'm surprised he's not suing them for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised he wasn't the first one to pop up and be like, hey!
Or the reason they're suing is because he's collaborating with them.
Yeah, that's possible.
And they have good reason to.
Yeah. I would sue the ever-loving fuck out of them if he was involved in it anyway, so I guess we'll see how that one goes, because if it was that'd be kind of funny. Yeah, no, if he's helping make it, you can all go fuck yourselves.
It won't be biased at all, no.
Yeah, I'm sure this crazy fuck you've hired won't do anything crazy. Yeah. So, I guess getting to... Well, no, we'll get to The Witcher later. We have some interesting news about the new Street Fighter game.
Well, not new, but...
Oh, it is 4. Oh, they're making a PS4 version of
Ultra Street Fighter 4, yes.
Ultra Street Fighter 4, where this guy looks like a big frog for some reason. I'm not sure what that's all about.
It's animal costumes. I don't know why.
Animal costumes, because reasons. Because fuck
Japan.
you, you'll buy it.
Yeah, people did, so...
So they're making a version Ultra Street Fighter 4 for PS4, which is actually news to me. Are they making it only for PS4, or is it on Xbox?
No, because Sony is helping pay for it.
Oh.
Fund it and shit.
Well, I guess it wasn't going to happen otherwise, huh?
Nope.
That's interesting.
They would have had no reason to do it otherwise. And Capcom's also not Capcom.
yeah, 'cause they're already
sorry,
doing
Sony
5.
is actually helping with 5 as well.
Yeah.
The financing of 5.
So they're making one for PS4 and because the fight sticks, they're all USB.
Yeah.
And they will work on the PS4 version, which is kind of nice.
You can use PS3 sticks, is what the
The PS3 the sticks from the PS3 era will work on the PS4, which is cool.
Yeah, the developers of the game Skullgirls worked on. It's basically just a driver for the PlayStation 4 that lets people plug in their PlayStation 3 sticks, and then anyone who wants to use it can license it for free, or not. Maybe license is the wrong word, but
yeah, or it's basically the same idea as like the Rock Band stuff.
Yeah.
They're just writing a new driver for all the stuff.
And it's totally free if anyone wants to use it. It's not like they're charging money for it, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Free stuff. So that's cool. I didn't even know that they were doing this.
Yeah, it's actually out on Tuesday. I think it might be digital only though.
Oh, really?
But
yeah, I don't do that.
$25 for Ultra Street Fighter 4 and like all DLC that came with it, the costumes and the other stuff. I can't recall. It's off the top of my head right now.
Oh yeah, May 26th. 2 days from when we recorded this. Monday. Yeah, it's posted on the PlayStation US blog. It says all the characters, all the levels, and all the DLC that have been launched so far. So far. They're gonna fucking make more.
I'm sure they will.
Will be included in the PS4 version of the game.
It's probably real cheap to produce that stuff anyway.
Yeah. They've eliminated the minor input lag that was on PS3, apparently, as well.
For the tryhards out there.
For all you tryhards. It's going to be, aiming for the digital release on May 26th at $24.99, and there is no physical version planned for this time. That kind of sucks. $25 isn't bad, though.
Yeah. Considering I paid $60 for it a few times.
Yeah. I think I paid like $10 for it once. That was it. What are you going to do? And in other Sony news, some interesting. I think that you said that they did this last year, right?
Yep.
But they're doing the E3 press conference in movie theaters.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I wanted to go last year, but the tickets sold out real fucking quick.
Oh, you know they're going to sell it within like 5 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Well, plus I kind of like being at home and talking to everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to do it in movie theaters across the country, hosted by Geoff Knightley,
Jeff Keighley.
Jeff, whatever. I can't read.
That guy with the name.
That guy with the weird name.
The guy that did the Game Awards and he's been on
he's just kind of
game trailers for a while. And
kind of just like vanilla personalitylessness. No, it's just there. He's the gaming equivalent of like an anchor.
Yeah, I guess.
He exists in a space that is non-offensive. And
he took over like the Adam Sessler role when Sessler stopped caring.
Yeah, and Sessler was far more interesting. But, yeah, so at least he's not annoying.
No.
There's that. But that, what's her name? She really... They keep asking her back at Ubisoft. She really pivots between annoying as fuck and kind of funny.
No idea what you're talking about.
The black chick that did Ubisoft's conference.
You said Tyler?
Yeah. She's kind of funny sometimes, and other times like, okay, shut the fuck up and get to the shit.
It's because she, like, when she finds something funny, she, like, runs it into the ground.
Yeah. Girl would. Yeah. She's like the comedian equivalent of me.
At least you can admit it.
I can. And I will. God damn it.
And what's actually kind of a little interesting, they haven't gone into too much detail about it, but there's actually going to be a 30-minute post-show for the people that are in the theater specifically. I don't know if that means like a couple developers will come by to show a game off specifically, or I don't know what. But
yeah, that'll be interesting. Hopefully somebody records that.
It'll probably be online like a day or two or whatever.
Oh, and you get shit for going. Yeah. You're going to get some kind of surprise. Unless the surprise was the after show, which that's a shitty surprise.
Surprise.
A salty surprise. So, planned they have, well, in the video they have, we'll link to the thing about it. They have a video showcasing a lot of stuff they're going to have, but, it's going to be good. I always like watching the conferences for the console makers, There's always lots of cool stuff. Unless, it's about TV the whole fucking time.
It's not Microsoft.
Sony did that shit a little too last time, and I was like, stop it! Didn't you learn from Microsoft? Didn't you learn? No one cares about Powers right now. They don't have Powers to talk about. Yeah, I haven't either. I'm gonna get around. I'll get around to it eventually. I wanted to let it finish, and then I would. But then Daredevil came out, and there's no way it's as good as Daredevil, so I just haven't even bothered. Also, it's 3 edgy, 5 me. They're all about cussing and sex and drugs, and I'm like, okay, I get it. You're not on a network. Aren't you fucking edgy?
Look how adult you are.
Yeah, I think I got a fucking paper cut from how edgy
a big
you
boy.
Really reading a Mark Miller comic. Wait. No, it was Bendis. Never mind. No one Kerr. So yeah. And moving along. Nintendo news. They've released some details about the World Championship.
Which Emtee. I don't think we actually talked about last week.
We brought it up. Did we?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
And I was in the process of making the E3 schedule, which we have on our website and we'll link to in the bottom of this article.
One of the things Nintendo was doing, along with the Treehouse stuff they've done in the years past, is the Nintendo World Championships, which hasn't been done in 25 years. So it was 1990, I believe, the last
It's definitely been a while.
I'm probably the only one old enough to remember this, but the movie The Wizard, I forget what year it came out, but in the late 80s, had to do, not with this specifically, but something similar to it.
They made a movie about a glove.
Well, yeah. The movie was basically to hype up Super Mario Bros. 3 and get people to buy the Power Glove. But anyway, they're bringing it back this year. From what it sounds like they're doing is they have the NES Remix games that they've done for the Wii and the Wii U. For this specifically, it's the Ultimate NES Remix. So anyone that has that game for the Wii U can actually practice before the actual event itself. And it's May 30th, which is, I believe, 2 weeks before E3.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Let me pull up my schedule here,
And,
which I've handily placed onto our website.
You said that already.
I know. That's the joke.
It's going to take place
Yes,
at...
it is in fact 2 weeks before MT.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks for the update. It'll be at Best Buy locations from 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. on the 30th.
The game? You can play the game?
The qualifiers.
Oh, Oh, so they're doing pre-stuff. I see. Wow. That's serious. All Best Buys?
No. There's one in San Francisco, one in Torrance, California.
Oh, okay.
One in Miami.
These are the list of Best Buys.
One in Illinois, Schaumburg, Illinois, I guess. Maple Grove, Minnesota, Long Island, New York, Dallas, Texas, and Tacoma, Washington.
How did Minnesota get one? Come on, no one lives there.
Except, me.
Yeah, no one that matters.
Oh.
So yeah, that's the qualifiers. The people that get the top score will be chosen to move ahead, and then Nintendo will select 8 more for some reason. I don't know what they're...
I mean, for reasons.
I know, but I don't know what the specific... They didn't go into specifics about what exactly they're looking for.
Yeah, it just says they're going to pick 8 more.
And then the actual...
Miyamoto, Reggie...
And the actual championships themselves will be on June 14th, which I believe is the Monday.
Yeah, it's 2 days before their conference, which is on the 16th at 9 a.m.
Sunday, my mistake.
Yeah. So the actual championships on the Sunday, and then what, are they going to announce stuff on Tuesday?
The actual conference is Tuesday.
Yeah. That's cool.
Or
That's technically part of E3.
Digital event.
Is it going to be... Does it say, is it going to be at E3? The actual contest?
It'll be in LA.
Okay, close enough.
I don't know where they're actually having their conference.
June 14th at the Nokia Theater. Is that where E3 is?
It's close to Staples Center, and the Convention Center, which is where it's been the last couple of years, so yeah.
Okay.
It's right across the street from the Convention Center.
That's cool. So that's basically part of E3.
Yeah.
That's fun times. Cool. That'd be exciting. It's neat that they've brought that back. That's a smart move.
Yeah, it is.
Something to make people give a fuck about Nintendo again.
Well.
That's cool. Sony should copy that idea. Except they don't have anything that anyone wants to play competitively. God of War tournament.
Nope. That even work.
They tried that multiplayer online thing with the
Gran Turismo.
one.
The like
Drive
king
Club.
of racing games, right?
Drive Club.
No. The servers won't be working yet.
Well, there's no Gran Turismo for PS4 yet.
There will be eventually.
I know, but not by E3.
In like 5 years.
Well, they don't have to do it this year. They gotta let Nintendo have their day. They don't get many of those. They're usually off eating paste, so... Oh, speaking of Nintendo, so...
Oh.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know what it
Definitely
is. I had a lot of fun playing the jumpy fucking squid game
jump.
today.
Yes!
The beta test, or whatever you want to call
Global Test Fire.
it. Global test fire fucking misfired today for Splatoon.
Shooting blanks.
Nintendo's got ink on their faces.
No. We sat there literally for about 50 minutes, and it just nothing. I literally sat and Emtee and I handed the controller back and forth playing the stupid squid jump game.
Which is actually kind of fun, actually.
Yeah, I would pay like $2 for that. They should put that on phones.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I was saying. At this point, I'm convinced like Splatoon isn't actually real, and the first set of test fires was to get people like drawn into this one so that they could just let you play Squid Jump because it's going to be one of their mobile games they were talking about.
Well, Nick played it and I played it last time they did it, so I know it's real.
Oh, so we've heard. Not that we could put any fucking footage on YouTube. Thanks, Nintendo.
Good job.
You suck. But, you know, I got to play the tutorial. So that was 2 minutes of somewhat fun.
Played it with motion controls, too.
Except I had to play it with motion controls, and it was fucking awful. At first I was like, hey, this isn't bad. And then I actually started moving, and I was like, hey, this is terrible. So that was, you know, that was my experience with Splatoon. Apparently, right after we left, everyone else left.
Yeah, I guess they
and they
extended it for
extended
another
an
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter for us because we were already gone.
Yeah. Still, you know, it was, I guess, showing promise. Yeah, I'm not buying that on launch day.
No, God, no. I'm waiting at least a week.
Yeah.
At least.
I hope they don't have a fucking SimCity launch on their hands here.
It is Nintendo, so...
They don't know how to internet. I'm worried. They don't even internet. So, we'll see on that. I'm sure it'll be fun when it eventually works.
I just get this like image in my head of when like people are complaining about not being able to connect, and just some old guy walking into like the server room and be like, "I don't understand why it's not working.
Have you tried turning it off and back on?
All these things are plugged in. Why does it not work?
Oh, the lights are blinking.
Are you sure that that's not working?
Grandpa, get out of the server room.
Where's the server?
That is Nintendo's server admin.
And
he's literally been there since they stopped making playing cards. Anyway, on to other news. Apparently, and I think this is funny. Tell me, does Need for Speed have a story?
Nope.
Okay, so how is this going to be a reboot?
Yeah, that's what I thought was hilarious.
I think he meant like a continuous story between games.
Well,
yeah, it definitely doesn't have that.
No, it has fucking... No. Even in the game, there's no story.
The last one.
The story is the cops chase you. That's not a story.
The last one had a story. It was almost interesting.
Well, apparently not, because they're rebooting it. So, yeah, EA is rebooting, whatever that means, Need for Speed. I guess they're calling it reboot because it's simply titled Need for Speed. I don't know if that really means...
Basically, they got lazy.
Yeah, I really wish... I don't know why companies are scared of numbers and titles anymore. Is it because people are like, about sequels?
Well, even beyond that, like, why even call it a reboot at that point? Just be like, okay, this one's called Need for Speed because we haven't had a game just called Need for Speed in like 25 years.
Like, they did that with Mortal Kombat. Oh, it's Mortal Kombat, which was a reboot, but everyone calls it Mortal Kombat 9, and then they even called the new one Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah, that's... If they're not going to commit to it, there's no point.
They didn't. They were like, fuck it. So this is going to be one of those. We're going to call it Need for Speed like 23 or whatever they're on now. I don't know. There's been like a million. I do remember. I have not played these games in a long time. I played them back in the day when it really was just you racing and the cops chasing you. But I don't know. EA always leery. Although they've been having a good year so far with everyone ignoring them, huh?
Yeah. Need for Speed Underground was probably the last game I really enjoyed in that series.
I played the newest one that they had put out because it was like the only thing that looked even half interesting for me when I got my PS4.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Jax used to play Midnight Club or whatever the fuck.
That was Xbox, but
yeah,
like it had like they did this persistent online world thing with it that just kind of it probably sounded great on paper, but in actuality it was like why?
That was the last one. What was that called?
Yeah, Rivals.
Yeah, Rivals.
Before that,
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking of Burnout. That's what I'm thinking of. Burnout did the same thing. I did that open world thing,
but they did it better.
I just prefer the arcade layout. I want to race and I'm done. I don't need it to be Grand Theft Auto. I just need it to be a racing game.
What kind of bugs me about the series is that at least the last one wasn't done by the Burnout developers, but Criterion. That's the name of them.
Yeah.
I want Criterion to make another Burnout game. God damn it.
They're
being wasted away on the Need for Speed franchise.
Yeah, I want to see them make a normal Burnout game. Because that game's fun.
Paradise was amazing. Like I've still gone back to that game a couple times over the years and still love it.
I would prefer to see them go back to just a straight up racing game, or at least I didn't play Paradise really, but it seemed like you had to do the open world shit, and it just seemed to me tedious. Like I just want to jump in a race real quick. I don't want to have to go to a place and do a thing. I just want to go boop 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 race.
I didn't mind driving around.
Yeah. And I already have Grand Theft Auto, so I really care even less.
Yeah, but the driving was way better in Burnout.
Oh, yeah. The Burnout games always had really good driving.
Not realistic driving, but...
Yeah, but fuck realistic. I don't want to play Gran Turismo. Shit is way too hard. It's not even fun. I don't want to have to worry about where the fucking grooves in the road are. I just want to go and I want to clip people and get points for doing it.
You don't want to fine-tune your shock absorbers?
No, I want to be swapping paint.
Oh no, my tires are wearing out.
I better rotate them quick.
So, yeah, it's in that respect, it is kind of sad to see, it's another Need for Speed. Stop going out! You already got one of those. You got Rivals. You're done. Get out. It was on PS4 even. Like, come on.
Well, it's EA. They like to have their annual franchise shit.
Oh, you know what? This isn't even Criterion. It's Ghost Games.
It's not. I know.
So that's good. Maybe that frees up Criterion.
This one thing I noticed in the article I read, this one will be completely next gen. I know Rivals was on everything because it was a launch title.
Yeah.
So, maybe it will be really pretty. I guess
it'll look real nice. Rivals looked really nice as it was.
Yeah, it was pretty good looking. Now people bitched left and right about the 30 FPS thing though, like they usually do.
Well, I can kind of understand that for a racing game, but at the same time, I don't give enough of a shit to complain about it.
Well, having a nice smooth frame rate really is nice in a racing game.
It's nice, but I played the shit out of that game for a while. It didn't cause any problems.
So EA is saying this reboot will go back to what it considers the core pillars of the series, which is deep customization, authentic urban car culture, a nocturnal open world, yippee, and an immersive narrative that no one wants, that pulls you through the game.
Driving cars, the game!
I don't need a storyline to race cars. I don't fucking care.
Riding on cars.
I'm in a car, the guy next to me is in a car, I want to beat him. That's all I need to know. That's my story.
No one per.
I think I remember hearing also that they were getting rid of the, not battle log, but the...
drive log or whatever the fuck they call it.
Oh my god, there's a fucking racing version of battle log?
It wasn't required though.
Jesus Christ.
At least there was no thing like what they did with Battlefield.
Stop.
It was still annoying, but...
Stop logging. All things with the word log, kill them. Anyway. Moving on to more interesting things.
There was a Doom teaser.
Doom! It was 10 seconds long. 11 seconds long. And there was a dude.
3 seconds of
cool,
it was gameplay.
And he has a rocket launcher attached to him.
Not gameplay, but...
Yeah, it was... Well, There's no way the game looks that good.
I don't know, man. Doom, it's been real.
That is their thing.
Up their own ass about the graphics.
Well, they're always up their own ass about the graphics.
Even more so, like, doesn't Bethesda own them now? And they tend to do that too. So it's like
Bethesda does? About what? Their games look like pretty pedestrian comparatively.
When they first come out, they look fucking great.
Fallout 3 didn't look fucking great. It looked fine. It didn't look bad, but I wouldn't exactly call those games eye candy. They can't be. They're too big.
They're crazy.
Nah, though.
So there really wasn't much in this actual teaser. It's like you were saying, it was just like a 3 or 4 seconds of some
actual
enemy
stuff.
fire and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're gonna, it's teasing the E3 conference,
which is exciting.
Considering Bethesda's doing their own now.
Woo! I'm excited for that. I am aboard the fucking hype train for Doom. I love Doom.
Choo, motherfucker.
Even Nick is gonna fucking play Doom, and I didn't even know he liked Doom. Doom's like everyone's like first shooter was probably a Doom game. So whenever a new Doom is coming out, and I'll give them this. They don't put out a fucking Doom game like every other day. You see a new Doom game like once every... Fuck, when did Doom 3 come out?
God, that was forever ago.
2004. Like once a decade. Literally. So that's pretty fucking exciting. And Doom 3 was fun as hell. A lot of people shit on it, but it was really fun. I played it way after the fact, and I still had a lot of fun with it. I was genuinely surprised by how good it was. So my hype levels are fucking maximum thrust right now. So June 14th we'll find out. But Bethesda's doing their conference strangely early for some reason. They want to be first! 7 p.m. on the Sunday before. 10 p.m. if you're in Eastern, etc., etc. So this shit's gonna be pretty cool. And hopefully during the Bethesda conference they talk about Fallout 4. Do it! Anyway, moving along some more. There are approximately 8 billion articles about something to do with The Witcher 3 this week.
Which is strange, because it came out this week.
I know, right? So lots of problems with just various... currently, AMD's basically saying that NVIDIA sabotaged their performance. There's some sort of graphical thing they use that's proprietary to NVIDIA. Yeah, like hair tessellation or some shit.
Yeah, like
Hairworks, it's called.
Yeah. Each company has their own thing.
And you can turn it off.
Yeah. It apparently supports the character's dynamic beard growth.
I do have to say, using things that are proprietary to one video card is just really bad form as a developer, I think. I didn't really like the physics doesn't work right on non-NVIDIA cards. I don't like seeing features that are only available on certain hardware for PC. That's just you don't need that kind of shit, splintering PC, because there's not very many people there to begin with. And it's annoying, and it sucks because AMD cards are shit. Not the hardware, but the software, the drivers are absolute ass.
That's what I hear.
And so I don't want to buy one of their cards. But NVIDIA has been really irritating me. But I need an NVIDIA card so that shit will work. So it's really frustrating. I see shit like this, and I'm just Now, it's not necessarily NVIDIA sabotaging them, but it is something that's bad for gaming. You shouldn't have proprietary extension, share. If they would just share with each other, it'd be better for everyone. But they're trying to, score points on a fucking chart somewhere. We have more features. Oh,
that's one of the things the article I read called out too, is that they're very closed-mouthed on what their stuff does. Even with the developers, they don't really give them access to the shit they need.
Secretive. That's why even on Linux, the open source drivers for video cards are balls, because they won't give them anything. Their closed source drivers are fucking great because they're basically the same drivers, but they're not very open at all with anything. They're extremely secretive, and it's really irritating, you know?
I didn't even realize until this article that TressFX was an AMD specific thing.
I don't even know what that is.
That's what they use for Tomb Raider.
Oh.
PC version of Tomb Raider.
For what?
For her hair.
Oh. What's with this fucking... why are there so many types of technology for fucking hair?
Because hairs always look like shit in video games.
Every time I think of this, I think of when they were showing off Conker for the 360, and they're like, look at his hair! And I was like, who gives a fuck?
Because that's fur, not hair. Get it right.
Look at the fur! Look at the tessellation!
Look at how fuzzy he is, isn't he fuzzy?
The fuzz! Fucking hair. Like, I get it, but come on. Like, hair works.
Hair is like the one thing, like, graphically that's been shit forever.
Yeah, kind of. It's flat. I mean, you get a good texture to it. I don't need to see
but the way it moves.
Individual hair.
No, but like the way it, like you probably never played wrestling games, but that long-haired characters in those games look fucking atrocious.
Well, don't those games look atrocious to begin with?
No, they look great now, but the hair still looks like shit. It's like instead of like being more individual strands, it's like clumps of hair that are.
I mean, that's what it looks like on TV.
I honestly think that's why
you put
like
that
so
much
many
gel in the hair. That's what happens.
I honestly think that's why so many Japanese like video game characters just have like spiky, like chunky hair like that.
Like
so it's easier to do.
Adaptation, yeah. Yeah, they don't.
Like this is easier, less polygons. Go.
Like as a kid, it was like, are Japanese people's hair just like one solid mass?
Yep.
What's going on here? Why does Goku's hair do that? Is he one of the Simpsons? Yeah, that this whole thing that one really is just disappointing. I hate seeing stuff like this. It's just not good for anyone. It doesn't help anyone. It's just bad. So, stop it. Anyway, and an update on the whole Green Man Gaming thing. I am sad to say they had some problems. Although, okay, I'm reading the article, and it seems like they had problems at first, but I think everyone's got their keys now. As far as I can tell. This whole thing was just kind of... It's kind of stupid. Like, basically, Good Old Games didn't want to sell them codes because... I don't know, they didn't really say. We assume it's because they were trying to put more focus on their own site and their client. And so Green Man Gaming was like, well, fine, we'll just buy the keys and we'll eat the discount. But, they, had problems getting them, and the launch was kind of botched. People were waiting as long as 48 hours to get it. So that kind of sucks. Although I wouldn't mind waiting 48 hours if it means I save like $20.
Yeah.
I just think it's weird that this game specifically is like the first time I've heard of them having this type of problem.
Yeah. It's just
I think it's
ill luck considering everything else that dealing with this specific game
on there. And it's just keys too. It's not like they're allowing you to download from their store. It's a fucking key. That's what I don't get. Even Valve games you could buy keys for. They're keys.
No.
It just seems sort of shitty to not just give keys if you want them. I don't know.
Well, these aren't even Steam keys. They're for Good Old Games digital distribution system.
Yeah, they're kind of doing a Steam thing, I guess.
Every company's got to have their own.
It's weird because of how open and cool this company has been. That this one little thing, like, why are they being so controlling? You know? They've been so open and forgiving, and they just shower their gamers with stuff. Well, if they want to buy it from somewhere else, you're still getting money. Get it where they want to. Well, it's just so weird. It's weird considering how they've been. If this was any other company, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. It's uncharacteristic of them.
Green Man Gaming's handled the whole thing pretty well too. Like they basically, from what I understand, they got everybody kind of settled. But they even, if for some reason they didn't get their key by a certain day, like they offered them they could either have a full refund, or they would still get their key at once everything was settled, and they would get 40% off their next purchase from the site.
Yeah, so that's nice at least. It's just weird. I don't really see anyone as a bad guy here necessarily, but it's kind of a shitty situation.
It's just really bad luck for them that happened with this game specifically, with everything that was going on.
Right. So, it's kind of shitty. But at least I guess it's all over now. Maybe. I don't know. So, meh, I guess. Pretty much does it for most of the news type stuff. Other than E3 is coming! 3 weeks? Yeah, about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
1, 2, yeah. 3 weeks for E3. I'm really hoping, I can't wait to see Doom. I really hope there's a Fallout announcement. I love Fallout. And, yeah, honestly, that's really all I can think of that I give a shit about.
Kind of wondering if Bungie will have anything about their Destiny expansion.
I would like to see more information.
I highly doubt it. It'd probably be like a teaser and nothing more.
Well, something's better than nothing. Now's the time, though, you know? E3. Yeah. People are going to start, you know, they've been playing the expansion. They're going to be looking to what's next. So, if not now, I think the next thing is, what, GDC or something?
Yeah. GDC is like the week after. They're, oh no.
I don't know. May 20th? Wait, what? No.
That's GDC Europe.
Else. Oh.
Oh, it was in March. Oh, it's March of next year.
It already happened. Well, there's another one.
There's something I know what it was.
Isn't there some German-specific one? Or is that what this one is?
Well, there's a German one.
There's Leipzig, but I don't think that's it.
No, there's something
like a lawyer or something, isn't it?
No, something German. I know.
Yeah, there is a big German one. Then there's Tokyo Game Show is one of the big ones they do.
Yeah, I can't imagine Destiny being
Tokyo. I think is in November though. I think TGS.
Yeah, that's too far.
I was thinking of PAX East and GDC. That's what it was. They were right next to each other.
Yeah.
PAX East was already happened.
Oh.
Well, I suppose if they want to stick to September for whatever the fuck it is they're doing, like we probably will see something at E3.
God, September's that close.
So hopefully, though, come on, Munch. Other than that, I don't know. Are you guys looking through it for anything else?
I'm really hoping.
Hearts.
Yeah.
Yes, I would also like to see Kingdom Hearts.
I'm really still hoping for Dishonored too, but I don't know. I'm not holding my breath.
I mean, it's going to happen eventually. Kingdom Hearts, though, Jesus Christ, it's been what seems like an infinite amount of time. And I really want them to announce a collection for the PS4. God damn it! I don't want to get my PS3 out again. I don't.
I could see them doing that, honestly.
I might just play the goddamn thing on a PS2 somewhere.
What I'd like to see them do is, I know they won't because it's fucking Square Enix, but I'd like to see them just put both collections into one thing.
I mean, if they
for PS4.
I mean, that would make sense.
The collection.
There's no fucking way they will. It would be nice, but it's not going to happen. They like money too much.
Whatever. I only need the second one anyway. I already played the first. And I think I watched a video of the fucking stupid-ass card game one. I'm not going to play a goddamn card game. Not happening. I tried it for about 10 minutes, and I was like, nope! So, whatever. But yeah. Oh yeah, because Square Enix, they're having their own conference. That's nuts. First time for both Square and Bethesda.
Well, like, that makes me think they will definitely have some Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff.
I hope. If it's all Final Fantasy, I'm gonna drive to their offices and.
I don't think they got enough Final Fantasy going on to do all Final Fantasy. They're still working on the same fucking game that they've been working on for
18 fucking games in development simultaneously. It seems like.
I imagine they'll have something with the 14 expansion. They'll have something with 15 for sure. Hopefully, release date finally. Well, speaking of that, though, one interesting thing that I saw somebody bring up on the forums, I think it was Emtee, they're actually patching the demo to fix shit that people had complained about and, like, update it, which is really cool. I've never seen anybody do that with a goddamn demo before.
I guess they want to get their first game on the PS4 and Xbox One right.
Yeah. They're fixing like all the big complaints that people had with like the combat system and stuff. They're actually adding like stuff that people wanted to see out of it. So apparently their little survey thing actually was worthwhile.
First time for everything.
It says the update will reportedly address several of the most common concerns, including overall enhancements to the battle system, more combat actions, and a rejiggered camera and targeting system.
I love when people say rejiggered.
which I didn't actually play in the demo, but I remember seeing a couple of videos of people playing it, and I can totally see the camera being a problem.
Wasn't that something like, seizure-inducing?
No, that was...
No, that was Type 0.
Yeah.
Whatever. This is the shit I'm talking about. There's like 50 of these damn things. I can't keep all this straight.
Like staying locked onto a target when it was like something fast moving was fucking impossible. So, like, I mean, it wasn't anything like it didn't piss me off or anything like that. I was still able to play it just fine. But I can, fixing that is not a bad thing. Because there's like a couple fast moving things that you would fight and then be like, where is it? And you try to attack it and then you like zoom past it because it just like was running around like a fucking. Well, they were like these like hyena things that were really fast or whatever.
Hyena things, huh?
Well, I suppose you don't really, but Final Fantasy games are full of like, this looks kind of like this thing, but it acts like this thing, but then it looks a little bit like the other thing.
It's a hyena, but it has a scorpion tail.
It's a hyena, but it's got belts and zippers.
What the fuck is this? Japan. Lol. So yeah. Now, the big thing for us this week, the Destiny expansion launched.
So if you don't want to hear Destiny talk, turn the podcast off now.
Podcast is over. No, but, okay, so like, I was pretty much shitting on this from the get-go.
We both were.
Everyone was. It looked like ass. But honestly, it is genuinely fucking fun. The patch fixed so many things. There's so much pointless shit that has been removed from the game. On the downside, that probably means we're going to get bored a lot faster. But on the upside, we'll run out of things because we've run out of things to do, not because we spent all our time grinding shit. So upgrading things is a lot easier now. I noticed all the new things that drop, all the damage and armor nodes are gone. They just drop at their max defense or max light level, max damage. Boom. One of the new mechanics they introduced was using this etheric light to ascend armor and weapons to the highest level available.
That's for legendaries only, though.
For legendaries only.
But
and then exotics,
everything.
Even better. Exotics only use exotic shards, which we all have like a bunch of. So I went through and just woohoo!
Yeah,
upgraded everything.
It was a really good feeling to like start the game and then like within 5 minutes have upgraded weapons and stuff already.
And I swear they must have ticked a box somewhere on the server that just said constantly drop shit.
Yeah. I think I've gotten more purple legendary engrams in the last week than I have in the whole time playing Destiny.
Yeah, so then, and the wolves thing is actually fun. Like, if you look at it from the perspective of I'm just kind of farming for stuff, but I actually get to shoot things to do it, so much better.
Yeah.
Like, you could run in a circle collecting chests, or you could go kill ships full of shit. And then you can grab the chest, and because Bungie's incompetent, you can keep going between the loading areas and grabbing the chest multiple times.
Might have been on purpose, we don't know.
Well,
I doubt it, but
it definitely would cut down on grinding, because holy fuck, if you had to get keys legitimately without being able to do that, it would take a goddamn eternity.
Yeah, so when you say it like that, it does sound more like a bug than
it's definitely intended. Not intended, but it is more fun that way. It actually, the first time I've ever thought about my speeder. Ever.
Yeah.
I've never given a fuck about the Sparrow or what it did, or I don't give a fuck.
Oh, it does flips now. Woo.
Yeah, what did it fucking do, right? I don't use the one that does flips now because I want one that's more stable and a little bit faster. And it's the only time anyone has ever given a fuck about which Sparrow they've used. So an unintended side effect of them being incompetent is that they've actually made something matter again. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it seems like they've taken a lot of complaints about things in mind. Like
they really have.
With the auto rifles being nerfed, like their impact on a lot of them in the last expansion was down to damn near nothing.
Like a fucking mosquito at this point.
Yeah. And it's not a huge jump in impact, but it's definitely noticeable.
It is a huge jump. Most of them were complete bullet hoses.
It's like 10%.
With like a little sliver.
It's like 10% more than it was.
I'd say
10% of the
50 to 100% more across. At least some of the ones
maybe 20. Maybe 20.
20% of the whole bar.
Yeah, yes.
I meant increase. Yeah. you go from like 2% to 20. It's a fucking huge jump. So it's been. I'm seeing some of the stuff they're selling. It's definitely a lot better. They fixed. It seems like they fixed the experience bug of weapons too, so you get experience on your weapons like you're supposed to when you're doing missions and stuff. On the chest thing we were just talking about, a new mechanic in the game. There's certain areas now when you're on patrol that will spawn ships full of enemies. They'll say the wolves are prowling, and they'll start dropping down. And one cool thing, you get to use their scorch cannons after you kill the captains that have them. And then a few waves of shit will drop down. And after you've killed the named guy and everything else, once you've killed everything, a chest spawns somewhere. And of course, everyone on Reddit within hours has screenshotted every fucking place that the chest could be. But it glows and has like some light that shines up into the sky a little bit, so you kind of just look around real quick and rush the fuck over to where it is, and then try to find the nearest exit to a loading zone and fucking rush over there and try to get the chest 2 or 3 times. And then you go to another area, or you wait there for it to happen again, and you get fuckloads of materials now. Like I have 800 spirit or something, and this is something like I used to never farm for it. I refused to farm for it. Because that shit is boring.
I've noticed too, like you get shitloads of glimmer from things now too.
Yeah, I keep filling up on glimmer.
I can't spend it fast enough.
Why can't I hold all this money?
And they added in the things that you can turn in, like the old materials for money. And I was like, I can get tons of money this way and I don't need it.
And I'm full.
Like as much of as there was a glimmer drought in the last expansion, this one's like it's raining forever.
One of the things I kind of like about it now, too, is like it brings back more of a social type of... Not social, but... How can I word this? Like back when the loot cave was a thing, people would actually go to that area and sit there for a while.
It's like communal.
Yeah, gather around and like actually not really work together, but they were working towards a common goal. And with the wolves thing, it kind of brought that feeling back, which is something that was missing.
I do notice, like, no one gives a fuck about public events because the rewards aren't worth it. But you see wolves prowling, and there'll be... Fuck, man, we've gone on patrols, and we've seen, like, 9 other people come running up to these things. Like, as many people as could fit in the area, everyone ran over there. And you'd even see, when you were going back and forth, you'd see other people going back and forth between where the shit would spawn. Because what it gives you is extremely worthwhile.
Yep.
The main goal of these chest runs, besides getting shit tons of money and materials from whatever planet you're on, every once in a while a treasure key will drop. This treasure key can be used inside the Prison of Elders. So you can play through the Prison of Elders, which is the new thing we got instead of the raid. Play through this thing. I'll talk about more about what it is in a minute, but when you get to the end, if you have one of these keys, you can open up a chest, and your first time through the Prison of Elders, if you open up this big chest with a key, you're nearly guaranteed to get an exotic of some kind. Every time. I did it 3 times, and I got an exotic every time. It was awesome. So that's fucking cool. And then you can just keep getting the keys, and I think each character can hold up to 5. Although if you try to do it again, you won't get an exotic, so it's not really worth it. But, yeah, it makes you actually give a shit about doing this, and then you're getting materials, and everything is just fucking great. And using the scorch cannons is fun as shit.
Yep.
The scorch cannons are just like a new weapon thing they put in the game where you shoot. It's either like a mortar launcher or grenade launcher, or you can stick it to something, holding down the fire button, and it keeps getting more and more and more powerful. So the longer you hold it, the bigger the explosion is when you let go.
Just to add to it a bit.
Times where I'd stick it to one guy and he'd be in a cluster of stuff, and I'd let it build up, and I'd just fucking blow up everything around him.
I had actually read the grimoire card about those things. It's basically like a portable fusion reactor. It shoots like an irradiated rod out, and that's what sticks to them. Like it's a fucking superheated rod, and then you hold down the trigger and it builds up the pressure on it, or the power built into it, or whatever. Under pressure.
So yeah, that's a fun little weapon to use.
Yeah.
Speaking of fun weapons, how about that sidearm, huh?
Yeah. Okay, so I remember them talking about this new weapon type called the sidearm, and I went, dumb. It's actually pretty fucking great.
Well, and then you see the gun in the game, it's like, this looks like shit.
It's a little pea shooter. And it is, but it shoots so fast, you get so much ammo.
And the reload's so fast, too.
It's crazy. And it's got the one you get from just playing through the story.
You get it after the first story mission.
Yeah, and it has two different abilities. You can get one to just do extra damage to Fawn, or another one to suppress captain abilities. So you start firing away and the captain can't teleport or do anything. See, like, the little... Like, when people get stunned, you'll see that over his head, and you'll know that he can't do anything. You just keep fucking shooting him, and it's awesome.
A lot of people have been comparing it to the Halo 1 pistol.
I would definitely not compare that. Unless the Halo 2 pistol, maybe. It's got the power of, like, an angry mosquito. Just shoots a lot of bullets.
Well, the only thing I found annoying with it is if you try to aim down the sights on it, I swear to God, you can't hit a single fucking thing.
I don't even try. I just kind of go, ah!
Yeah.
And if I hit
Which I think is pretty much its intended purpose.
Yeah, the purpose is to, ah! It's like close to mid-range. Like, it's something somewhere between a shotgun and a sniper rifle. More towards shotgun range. Whereas fusion rifles just a... This is like an immediate, like, that you can use. So it fills a role in the game that didn't exist. So it's good. And it's fun to use. It's fun to use because of how fucking fast it shoots. It's so fast. Yeah. It's like as fast as I can hit the button almost. There'll be times where I just walk up and go, bah, 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 bah. So that's surprisingly fun.
One thing I found that's nice too, because they had all those new bounties, and they added a lot of like yellow enemies to random places because they're part of the bounties.
Yeah.
But they're up just normally, and because they've added them to existing places, like it changed things up a bit. Like I'll go into an area that I'm used to, like I know exactly where the enemies are going to come out of, how many there are and stuff, and all of a sudden there's something that comes out of the side at me that I wasn't expecting. It's like, whoa.
So, I plan to do like a full review of the expansion because I actually give a shit. But suffice to say, it's been fun. Like, surprisingly, the story is fun to play through, which is mind-blowing because the first expansion was terrible. Most people did it once, and then their other characters, they didn't bother because it sucked. It wasn't fun. There's more story missions, and I'm not going to spoil it, but, well, I might end up spoiling it in the review, but some of those last missions are fucking sweet.
Yeah, like the last 3 missions you do are all like really fun and cool.
So fun. I was like, what? When we went up to this mission, I couldn't believe it. So, it's just so fun. I'm honestly surprised. I thought it was going to be complete shit. I saw there's no raid and just all this lazy shit. And they did good. There's some cool stuff. New armor, new weapons. And like Emtee and I were saying, it's nice to see some fucking auto rifles that aren't like completely pea shooting bullet hoses. So, we haven't tried the Trials of Osiris. That's a new PvP thing, but I'm thinking I might, just because I can get better armor.
Yeah, but you have to play PvP to get it.
Yeah, you only gotta win like 5 matches.
You have to do it like in a row, though, don't you?
No, just off of one trial. So you could lose twice among those 5.
Sounds like way more trouble than I want to go through to play PvP.
Perhaps. But, yeah, it's interesting. Find somebody that's halfway decent to play with.
I'm certainly interested in trying it. One thing that was cool, too, that a video got posted about was, like, if you basically get a flawless victory on it, win, 9 matches without losing any, well, you actually unlock a secret area in the game that you can go to that has a special chest with a bunch of shit in it. But one thing that I thought was kind of nice too, with just the way they changed the upgrading system with the etheric light and everything, is it makes the old content relevant, like the old raids.
Right. I'm really excited to eventually be able to upgrade my Vaulted Glass helmet because it looks cool and I like it.
Yeah, and then considering most of us were using the Vision of Confluence from the original raid still
I can't wait
anyways.
to upgrade that.
Yeah, that's going to be like the first fucking thing I upgrade, because that is like my favorite weapon.
I'll have
It
to
was
upgrade your
useful
armor.
even when it had shitty attack, when it's actually like relevant damage.
Yeah.
How awesome is that going to be?
It's going to be sweet. So, I do want to quickly talk about the Prison of Elders. Now, I also just want to mention, again, I'm going to do a review on it, but there's a lot of, like, just kind of lazy information about it, because it's not really a horde mode, because that would imply something that's just, it goes until you die. This actually has a point to it, so we'll break it down real quick. You go into an arena, and there's one for each type of enemy in the game. You fight through 3 waves, and depending on what level you're doing it at, and blah blah blah, it could have modifiers, and some of them help you. You can get modifiers like where your abilities charge slow as fuck, or you get something cool like your punches, you have light switch, or maybe they have light switch, or maybe your grenades charge extra fast, or primary damage is favored, or secondary damage is favored. There's just lots of just different modifiers, and it's it keeps things interesting. And then it's not just killing shit. You'll have to, although I have to say I'm kind of disappointed. You do stuff, but there's only 2 things that you do. You either disarm a mine, or you destroy a mine.
And by disarming, you mean stand
in a circle
until the timer goes down.
And perhaps dance in said circle. And that's it. It's either destroy them or disarm them. But at least it's
not
something.
Use your ghost.
Yes. Thank God, no ghosts.
They seem to have taken that to heart, because each expansion
less and less.
It's literally once each expansion you have to use your ghost. Literally one single time each one.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Plus, they don't have the money to pay for Peter Dinklage to come in and phone it in.
Honestly, the way they should have handled it from the get-go is they should have different voice options for the ghost. It's just technically a robot. Have any other game with a robot voice tends to do that. Even Titanfall did that shit with the Titan. You'd have a different AI voice for it.
Yeah. Overall, expansion's been fun. Surprisingly so. So, I'm probably going to play more after this.
They're slowly improving with the story, too, that they have in the game itself. It's still not
a little
good.
It's still barely there, but...
Well, I would say it's approaching good now. What was in this expansion was actually interesting, and you could kind of follow it.
Kind of, yeah.
There was still a lot of, empty space information. It's oh, hey, this is a thing, and then they don't tell you what that thing is.
Yeah.
But... I mean, most of it's the grimoire. It's stuff is still really heavy on explanation for everything. They just need to get that shit in the game, and then they'll be where they need to be.
I really wish they'd add the grimoire stuff into the game itself instead of having to go to a website. That's still
even if they just just open up a new they got a few doors they haven't used in the tower. Just open up a library kind of thing. Here's all your stuff. Have fun.
On that note, make a fucking view on the website where I can just read them all. The way you have to do it is
click on individual
fucking
cards and
terrible.
shit. Yeah.
Who the fuck designed that? It's awful.
You should treat it like a Wikipedia type thing.
People have made sites with what I just said, just because of how fucking terrible it is.
I saw recently, too, there's actually a group on YouTube that's going through and making audio versions of all of them, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, my friend listens to it. It's a podcast. Yeah.
But I've listened to a couple. They're not great. Some of the choices they made with voice acting is a little fucking weird, but I mean, it's not bad either. It's interesting, at least. They're definitely trying. No worse than some anime dubs I've heard, so.
So, pretty fun. Forgot anything, did we? The Wolves, Prison of Elders, the Trials of Osiris, which we know barely anything about.
Not really much to talk about here, but there is a new social space, not just the tower.
The Reef, which you should know if you know anything about Destiny. Probably know a lot of this already anyway, but the Reef is a new tower, except annoyingly, You'll still have to go to the tower once in a while if you want to do re-rolls on your weapons, which is awesome that you can do that. Now, any weapon that is dropped during that's an expansion weapon, an expansion 2 weapon, it can be re-rolled. You can re-roll the perks.
The Iron Banner stuff that you would have had from before still works with it too.
Right, and it's just like that. It uses mode light and whatever else. And then the speaker now exchanges just like every kind of thing imaginable. You can exchange at the speaker.
Get 2 strange coin to him and get a mode of light in return.
Yeah, and it's not as annoying as it was with Eris, where you needed a bunch of the fucking wax idols.
I just wish it was the other way around, because I had a shit ton of modes of light and no strange coins.
Yeah. I'm glad I ended up using all my motes, like a shit ton of them, to buy helmet engrams, and I finally got the one I wanted.
Yeah, you got the one, so did I. No,
Emtee fucking got it after like 2 helmets. He was like, "Oh, what's this?" And I was like, "That's awesome!"
I didn't even know I wanted it until I got it. Like, oh shit, this is
I didn't even know I wanted this, but I want it.
Apparently, it can down normal mode Crotus shields in one shot.
Yeah, it's called the
Golden Gun.
Nighthawk.
Celestial Nighthawk, I think.
Yeah. 6 time damage. You get 1 golden gun shot if you're a hunter. The purpose of this helmet. You get 1 shot, but the shot does 6 times the damage. Fucking insane. Pretty excited to use that.
Which means it might actually feel like a super.
Yeah, it might. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, that's a fucking super. That's like a Titan smash in a gun.
And every time we do Croto, it's going to have 2 hunters with that helmet.
Yeah, exactly. Done.
Shield down. Well, from what I understand, if you're like 33 and have a new maxed Yellerhorn, it just takes 2 shots to take a shield down.
Well, it's going to be like playing normal again, basically.
Yeah.
So I'll have to deal with all the shitty bugs, though.
Well, they fix a lot of them.
Yeah.
He still does the early stand-up shit, from what I understand.
No, that's the one they fixed. Specifically.
Yeah, the last time I did it, it went pretty smooth, so...
Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Now that we're 33, I'm itching to try it a little.
And just put it out there, Shade was in there too, so even his shitty latency didn't fuck anything up.
Fucking Australians and their internets. So, that about does it. Have you guys been playing anything else this week? Well, I know what you've been playing, Emtee.
Gee, I wonder why.
Because you've been playing with me. We're going to have some new videos for once. It's been a little while. We have a few flash plays coming for Axiom Verge and what else did we play? Oh yeah, that weird sword fighting game.
Nidhogg.
So we'll be trickling some new content out. It'll be fun. That sword fighting game was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Neck-breaking fun.
A lot of fun. We only played like 20 minutes, mainly for the video, but it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. It was... For such a shit-ass looking game, it's actually pretty goddamn fun. It looks like something I could make, but it's fun.
What do you think about Axiom Verge from what you played?
I actually like it more than Metroid, I think.
Really?
Yeah. More stuff. Quicker. I liked that. The pace.
Yeah, I suppose.
The pace that it went at. It's been a long time since I played a Metroid game with that stuff. Because I was never hugely into the newer 3D Metroid games. I always preferred the side-scrollers. It's like I prefer a side-scrolling Mega Man. It's just, I like that particular style of game. It's not Samus so much as it is that type of game. And a side-scrolling game, 3D game version of that is fun in its own right, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
It becomes a new type of game when you put it into a 3D space, which is why Mega Man X7 was one of the worst fucking games I've ever played in my life. But, yeah, it was fun. I liked it. I miss seeing that.
Yeah, I really wish Nintendo...
That's the great thing about indie games, is this market for weird little shit is there. And people kind of scoff and groan when Sony sits there and at their conference and talks about indie games for 40 minutes, but there's just so many more things that people do with those that they can't do at a publisher. And that's why when you see like a Kickstarter for the Castlevania guy, because he's fucking tired of dealing with Konami and their bullshit, he's like, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm gonna make the game I want to make and people will give me money. I don't have to deal with some fucking bean counter to do it. So that's what's great about indie games. For every weird little thing, some fucking guy somewhere is making it. So that's cool.
I bought the, no one but me will probably care, but I bought the Super Mario Brothers edition of Puzzle and Dragons, but I didn't bring my 3DS, so I couldn't play it. So I can talk about that next week.
Yeah, I have it charged.
Congratulations.
So, anyway, I think we about covered it. Kyle, I saw you playing, what is that?
Ether 1.
Ether 1.
Talked about it last
Did you talk about that already?
Yeah, I talked about it before. They did patch it, though, and it looks like they've fixed pretty much all the problems I was seeing before. There's still a couple, little things, but once again, 6-person development team. Not a bad job. I'm getting near the end, I think, so I'll have it done before too long. Pretty interesting. But yeah, it's anybody that wanted to try it. It does appear to be more or less completely fixed now.
Cool.
Other than that, since Witcher 3 came out and the game looks interesting enough, I know I want to try it eventually.
After you play through the first two?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So Steam did a sale where you could get both the complete editions of the first two games for $5 total. Ended up buying that. I played the first one a little bit. It's kind of cool. Looks like ass now, like most 3D games from 10 plus years ago too. But the combat system is interesting. I was expecting it to just be mostly a hack and slash kind of thing, but there's a bit of strategy involved. The way I'm trying to play it right now, though, I don't think is necessarily not the preferred way to play it, because they have you can play it with an over the shoulder kind of camera, or you can do this semi isometric type view, so it looks more like Diablo does. But then you can still move the camera around, but the way it controls that way is a little odd. Not sure that I like it, but that's what I've been trying thus far. There's some interesting systems in it. Seems like it'll be pretty fun.
I remember hearing about the second one. I don't know if this was the way in the first, but with combat, in 2, you didn't learn to block for a while. Is that something that happened in 1 too?
In 1, the way it seems to work is you have different, basically, fighting styles. I forget what they're called exactly, but it's represented by one's a wolf's head, one's a cheetah head or whatever, and one's an eagle. And the wolf one is meant for heavy hitting enemies. One's meant for fast enemies. The other's meant for fighting groups of enemies. And if you're not physically attacking at the time, you can actually you have a certain chance to parry attacks and stuff like that. I haven't seen any actual initiated blocking yet or anything. I don't know if that'll come in later. I haven't played much of it. I pretty much just went through the prologue.
I played maybe 10 minutes of The Witcher 2 and didn't really get too far, obviously, but it's I hear good things, and I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of that type of genre, really, but The Witcher 3 does look interesting.
Yeah.
For sure. So I'm kind of curious to at least try 2 a little more at some point.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about 2 overall. I remember when the first one came out, I was like, oh, this looks kind of neat, but I didn't really have a PC that could play games back then, so I never bothered with it. And then 2, I have always heard good things about, and 3 is supposed to be just phenomenal. I've been hearing great things about that, so they seem to put out pretty decent games.
Yep. I think this is the only game they really put out, though, is Witcher.
Yeah. So there's something else in there that nobody cares about, but...
Probably.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more. Seems like it'll have the story's pretty interesting, so...
Yeah, I know they've had books, at least, about it, too, but I think it might have only been, in Poland. I think they actually have them translated for English as well, but I'm not positive on that. So, storyline is a big deal for them, apparently.
Yeah.
Some companies are still doing that.
There's a lot more that do that now. But
anyway, well, say that about does it, yeah?
Sure.
We will close out another interesting week here so that we can go to bed.
In my case, because I have a headache.
Probably.
Thank you for joining us, Kyle.
Yep.
And Emtee.
You are welcome.
As always, you can find us at our 8 million different social shit things on YouTube and Facebook. We are
Google
Does
Plus.
This Game Suck? Plus as well. And on Twitter, fuck you Twitter, Does Game Suck? Stop by, like some shit, whatever. I don't care. Just
Like
listen
and
to our
subscribe.
podcast. Really helps us out. And also check out our new, well, sort of like our new show. We took on some people that make their own little show on YouTube called The Itch. And they're going to start posting some of their stuff on our site as well. We'll be their new home.
Hooray for us.
They're homeless. Living on the streets of YouTube.
Where the streets have no name.
So, they've been posting some stuff, and you can check that out as well. We'll be back next week. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.